will return all glory to you. Thank you for sparing our lives to witness another anniversary. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for joining us. As we gather with the city to manifest of the grace and grace in Jesus, we commit every aspect of this event to you. Come and guide our utterances. Come and bless our activities. Let us enjoy your peace. Let us enjoy your presence. And at the end, when we look back, let us have Wednesday to celebrate your worship. These and many other blessings we pray for. Through Jesus Christ, our Lord and our Savior. Amen.
Thank you very much. We stand while we take the national anthem. The national anthem. The national anthem. Are you bearing us? Or we sing? Please be seated. Your Excellency. Our keynote speaker, His Excellency, Mr. Bhakti Raji Fashola CON. Permit me to also recognize past presidents, especially the immediate past global president, Professor Yesheko. We recognize you, sir, and other distinguished past presidents here present. At this point, let me welcome the national president to welcome all of us, because we hear our keynote speaker will be returning almost immediately. So join me in welcoming Sir Honorable Justice Olugbuyega Ogunfowora, the national president.
Your Excellency, past national presidents, members, distinguished boys, respected elders, ladies and gentlemen, especially the family of our distinguished old boys, Professor Thomas Adeoye Lambo, 1941, and Pa Jelil Olaiwola Adeleko, 1945. It is with today to this presidential fundraising dinner in support of the Step 2 project of our grade school, the Baptist Boys High School, Abeokuta. It is a special joy to always come together for our alma mater, our nurturing mother, the institution that shaped our minds, formed our values, and bound us together across generations. BBHS is far more than a collection of buildings. It is a family, a shared memory, and a lifelong responsibility. That spirit of emotional ownership, so eloquently captured in our centennial reflections, has brought us together once again for a cause that speaks directly to the future of the school and of the boys who will walk its corridors and its fields long after us. We are profoundly honored by the distinguished company we keep this evening. We are equally privileged to have as our guest speaker a distinguished son of Nigeria, His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Commander of the Order of the Niger. This record of public service, intellect, and integrity resonates strongly with the values BBHS installed in all of us. I am proud to say that His Excellency and I were classmates at the Nigerian Law School, and we both served in the old Bengal State during our NYS. And more importantly, he gave me hope that Nigeria can achieve great things in my lifetime. I recognize the presence of His Excellencies, Senator Otuma Daniel, who is within these premises, whose comprehensive renovation of the UGD School Hall, now a modern facility worthy of his name, stands yet as another testament to His Excellency's enduring commitment to BBHS. We are also particularly grateful for His Excellency's generosity in making this venue available for this event at a greatly discounted rate. This gesture has significantly reduced the cost of hosting this event and ensure that a larger proportion of resources mobilized this evening can be channeled directly towards the STEM 2 project. As I however state that this event has been bankrolled by 5 gentlemen without recourse to OPA funds. We thank you sincerely for this quiet and practical support. Distinguished old boys, this gathering is equally defined by the quiet generosity of many among us, some of whom plead anonymity. I wish to specially acknowledge the several old boys who have already demonstrated exemplary leadership by contributing the sum of 1 million naira each towards the STEP 2 project. Your readiness to give without fanfare sets the tone for this fundraising effort and affirms that the strength of our organization lies in collective responsibility rather than individual acclaim. As your generosity exemplifies leadership by example and the demonstration of your love for our school and its progress, which easily surpasses this 1 million naira, and it gives this fundraising effort its moral force. I thank the 1967, the 1974, the 1980, the 1982, and the 1992 classes who have given us the full complement of the old boys requested to donate to 1 million and even more. 1967, 4 of them donated. 1982, 4 of them donated. I also acknowledge the profound gratitude, the contribution of the amount of 250,000 naira by our classes and branches, as I call on the other classes and branches to also contribute theirs. As I speak now, I know that we have 15 million from individual donors and 4.6 from 16 class sets and branches. It is important at this point to situate our STEM vision within the proud intellectual heritage of our school, as over the decades we have produced renowned giants in science, technology, engineering, and medicine. The glance at the Wall of Fame in our alumni hall show old boys who have distinguished themselves as STEM innovators and pioneers. Professor George Kikiolu, 1958, mathematician and inventor, and a member of the New York Academy of Science. Professor Joshua Jadifani of 1959, and a member of the Nigerian Academy of Science. Professor Fadulu, 1954, a pioneer in the research and treatment of sickle cell anemia. Eminent physicians and scholars who went on to become vice chancellors of Nigerian universities. Professor Adeoye Lambo, 1941, Professor Adeoye, 1940, Adeoye Adeni, 1947, and innovators whose work have advanced knowledge and improved lives at home and abroad, including Dr. Abayomi Odubela, just to mention a few. This remarkable legacy underscores a simple truth. Excellence in STEM, and indeed STEM with an extra is not new to Bbhs. It is part of our DNA. It is important at this point to recognize the visionary leadership that has driven the STEM agenda in our school to its present level. I especially acknowledge the outstanding efforts of Dr. Abayomi Odubela, 1967, and Ambassador Olawale Maigun, 1974, our distinguished old boys for 2024 and 2025 respectively, whose commitment to science education at Bbhs has been nothing short of transformational. Through their personal sacrifices and sustained engagements, they have jointly invested well over 100 million naira in the comprehensive upgrading of science laboratory infrastructure and in the continuous professional development of our science teachers. Their work has not only modernized facilities, but has also strengthened teaching capacity, improved classroom delivery, and elevated student outcomes. The STEM 2 project we are supporting tonight builds directly on the strong foundation they have laid, and we salute them as true drivers of STEM education in our school. It is particularly fitting on an occasion such as this to recognize legacies that continue to speak long after their authors have departed. We acknowledge with deep gratitude the benevolence of Pa Jalil Adelekon of 1945 of blessed memory. In faithful execution of his will, his family continues to honor his lifelong devotion to Bbhs through an annual bequest of 3 million naira to the OB. Part of this bequest, the total amount of 13 million naira of the 15 million naira so far received is being applied directly to the STEM 2 project, ensuring that Papa now for this school is translated into concrete and enduring benefit for present and future students. We remain profoundly grateful to his family for this rare example of foresight, consistency, and institutional reality. I quickly hasten to add that 2 million was used as part of the 6 million plus we used to totally refurbish our school bus given to us over 2 years ago by Chief Obasanjo. This vehicle is now a brand new one, as we have noticed. In this spirit, I am pleased to acknowledge the family of Professor Lambo, another illustrious son of Bbhs, and a global figure in scholarship and service, who have graciously expressed their intention to contribute towards the STEM 2 project. This expression of support is both symbolic and inspiring, as it underscores how the legacies of our distinguished old boys continue to advance the cause of education, excellence, and national development. We thank the Lambo family and the Lambo Foundation sincerely for aligning themselves with this vision. As I crave our indulgence to allow Captain Richard Lambo, distinguished guests, it is also important to place this project in proper historical context. The site on which the project is being developed was originally conceived by the Bbhs OB Lagos branch as a project to immortalize its late patron and great benefactor, Alhaji Adelekun, and for the site to host the proposed Adelekun Alumni Hall, which foundation we laid in January 2022. However, as our association evolved and priorities shifted, we successfully delivered the Sir Kensington and Bbhs Alumni Hall during the centennial anniversary, which now serves as a functional and symbolic alumni hall. As I also hasten to add that Sir Kensington and Bbhs has also graciously given us 10 million naira towards this extension project. Considering this, and in response to the school's present academic needs, it became both prudent and necessary to repurpose the earlier site, which never got up from the foundation level, to serve as a STEM extension center, especially because of its contiguity to the newly renovated STEM laboratories. This decision reflects not abandonment of vision, but responsible adaptation, ensuring that our resources are deployed where they will have the greatest and most immediate impact, which is why I also state unequivocally today that we are irrevocably committed to further immortalize Adeleku's name on one of the constituent units of the repurposed STEM Extension Center, a gesture to which his family has graciously given their consent. The STEM 2 project or Extension Center, comprising an Earth Science Laboratory, a Basic Science Laboratory, and the CBT Creative Room, represents a strategic investment in relevance, competitiveness, and future readiness. As I readily admit that it was Bayek's initial directive of commencing this year's examination by CBT mode that impelled us to hold this event, which is our collective response to the realities of modern education and to the imperative of equipping Bbhs students with the skills changing world. As I stand before you today, I am mindful that this is my final year as National President. I therefore approach this project with a deep sense of responsibility and optimism. It is my honest hope that through our collective generosity and shared purpose, we will complete this extension center within the year and leave behind a legacy worthy of the generations that will follow. Once again, distinguished guests and dear old boys, I warmly welcome you all. Thank you for honoring this occasion with your presence, your goodwill, and your unwavering commitment to our alma mater. God bless the Baptist Boys High School Abeokuta. God bless the Baptist Boys High School Boys Association. God bless you all. Nunde Secondus.
We can still do better, please, for our very wonderful national president. That was a very fantastic one. Without using any memory card, our very wonderful president delivered it excellently. Please, let us give it to him once more. Distinguished old boys of the prestigious Baptist Boys High School, without wasting the time, we are moving at a very faster pace. And now we move to the next item on the program, which is going to be the introduction and, of course, the citation taking of our own very dearly esteemed keynote speaker. And like the Yorubas will say, with all reference to our headers in the house, Omani Agba, Loto Rumo, Oba, Loto Eirifo, Toto Shebi Uwe Bawa. And on that very note, permit me to humbly welcome to the microphone our own very wonderful first National Vice President in person of Barrister John Darren Olujide. Thank you so much, sir.
the greatest honor that I've been given this opportunity to introduce a man that is very great in deed and in truth. I won't waste your time. I'll just go ahead. Our guest speaker today is His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, CON. Early life and education. He was born on June 28, 1963 in Lagos, Nigeria. Babatunde Raji Fashola grew up with a large family. He attended Sunnyfields Primary School, then Bad Freeman High School and Igobi College, very prestigious school, Igobi College, Yaba. He earned his LLB from the University of Benin in 1987 and was called to the Nigerian Bar in 1988 after completing the Nigerian Law School program. Fashola began his career at GIS Omonua & Co. and later joined Shofunde Osakwe Ogundipe and Belgore as a litigator. He became managing partner at KO Tinubu & Co., specializing in commercial law, intellectual property, and land disputes. In 2004, he was conferred with the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, the highest legal distinction in Nigeria for legal practitioners. He is also a notary public, a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation, and a member of the Nigerian Bar Association and International Bar Association. Corporate service and career. In 2002, His Excellency became the Chief of Staff to the Lagos State Government, the then Lagos State Government. His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, serving on key boards like the State Tenders Board and Security Council. He resigned in 2006 to contest for the office of the Governor of Lagos. Focused on infrastructure, transportation, security, focused on infrastructure, transportation, security, and urban renewal. Key achievements: transportation, introduction of the bus rapid transport, a co-Atlantic city, and developed the Lekki Free Trade Zone. Security, he established the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, dramatically and significantly recorded Mega Good Man, and he received awards such as the Leadership and Good Governance Award. Subsequently, in 2015, President Murtala Muhammad Buhari appointed him as the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, which was later streamlined to Minister of Works and Housing in 2019. He implemented Nigeria's first energy mix document, targeting 30% renewable energy by 2030. He introduced renewable energy by 2030. He introduced policies.
We welcome His Excellency, distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, an old boy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, an old boy, Ottoman Benga. You're welcome, sir.
When you attend great schools, you regularly meet great men. Some people don't have the opportunity we are having now. We are only thank God. Excellency. Yes. Yes. He also introduced policies like the renewable energy and energy efficiency policy and many grid regulations. He oversaw federal roads rehabilitation and affordable housing projects nationwide. Awards and honors. Commander of the Order of the Niger CON, Senior Advocate of Nigeria SAN, Stephen J. Sollers Award for International Crisis Group in 2015. He was named among the top 100 global thinkers in 2014. Multiple Man of the Year awards from leading Nigerian newspapers. His Excellency is married to Dame Emanuela Abibola Fashola, and they have two wonderful children. He enjoys soccer, swimming, tennis, and is a member of elite clubs like Island Club and Ikoyi Club. Legacy. His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola transformed Lagos into a modern mega city and advanced Nigeria's infrastructure and energy policies. His leadership style focused on efficiency, innovation, and accountability, and the gentleman continues to inspire governance reforms across Africa. Now, as you well know, this profile was prepared for me to read, and I have read. There are some things that are not here, which I am privileged to know, and I'm privileged to share with you, especially when the person I'm talking about shares a lot in common with me. He is left-handed, like our president. He is left-handed, like our president, like our former president, like myself. He loves soccer. Well, I attended Baptist Boys High School. He attended Bbhs College. I will tell you this, I tried to enter Bbhs College. I was not admitted. And I'm not happy. Anyway, gentlemen, I have the honor and pleasure in presenting to you His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola.
Thank you very much, my brother John Oloye. I'm told that you are one of the, please sit down, I'm told you are one of the vices that my Lord, the national president has. There's yet another vice who become acquainted with, and it is being planned to bequeath more vices to Mr. President. But let me acknowledge the presence of my brother and colleague, now a very distinguished senator, a former governor of this state, Otunba. Politically, we used to be affiliated, then we became opposed, then we became affiliated, and opposed. But a good man always. And I have also had the opportunity of learning how deep you have dug in order to support your alma mater and the old boys. May God continue to reward and replenish you. And whatever happens, even if I don't see him in an entire year, I don't hear from him, I will hear from him unfailingly on the 6th day of April of every year, because that is his birthday, and that is also my wife's birthday. So on that day, we exchange greetings, whether he is opposed or is affiliated. That is a tradition that has not broken. Distinguished, eminent members of the Old Boys Association of the Baptist Boys High School, I'm truly delighted to be here. So when my Lord and brother, Honorable Justice Sir Bbhs, Knight of John Wesley, reached out to me to ask me to speak at this event a few months back, I had at that time just decided a few weeks before then to put a stop to my public speaking engagements and to limit them only to those engagements
that were fee-paying. I believe that after 21 years of public service and a substantial number of thank you public speaking, it was time to commercialize. Now that I am in pension. But I have not seen you in a couple of years. For those who might not know, you will know now that we did not attend the same primary school. You certainly know that we did not attend the same secondary school. In fact, I didn't know which secondary school he attended. We didn't attend the same university either. But we were classmates in the Nigerian law school. That's when I met him. And of course, we later served together. But that was where our relationship began in the Nigerian law school. Very affable, easy to talk to, made friends very easily. So as young lawyers, our paths crossed then, and as young practitioners, maybe we would meet each other in the precincts of one court, whether in the Lagos division or in the Ikeja division or at the annual bar conferences. We would probably never have met if not for the law school. But I am thankful that the law school brought me in contact with this great man. Clearly, not just a legend of Bbhs, but a legend of the state, a true patriot. So, without that network that brought us together, that he leveraged, the old boy education network, when old boys reach deep and say, he was my classmate, he was my colleague, and get things done. Without that network, I would not be here. So how then would I say no to an old boy of the Nigerian law school? So that is why and how I agreed that I will come, and I must say it is both an honor and a pleasure for me to be here. Before I go into the subject of my intervention today, permit me to share then with you a view that I evolved from experience, and it is this, that when parents or guardians or we as parents choose schools for our children or for our wards to attend, we are not just choosing the best places where they can get educated. We are choosing the kind of people with whom they will probably forge long life relations. So we're not just choosing knowledge, we're choosing peerage. We're choosing brotherhood and sisterhood, and we're also choosing fellowship, bonds that will last an entire lifetime. And I think that we should pay attention to that perspective, whether now as parents, whether as grandparents, and in whatever way we bear responsibility to affect the choice of which school a child will go. The consideration must extend beyond the quality of knowledge and focus on the quality of people whose children will be there, because they will ultimately shape the development of our own. But after our telephone conversation, my host, your National President, Honorable Justice Ogufora, signed a letter dated 13th October 2025, formalizing our telephone conversation. And he did so, as you would know, in his capacity as the president of the Baptist Boys High School in Abeokuta Old Boys Association. And he said inter alia, Your Excellency may kindly speak on any topic. So he gave me a blank check and asked me to speak on whatever I liked. I have taken what I think is maximum benefit of that liberty, as I was invited to do. And having regard to the purpose of this launching, which is to raise funds for the school's STEM infrastructure project, I have chosen to address the role of infrastructure in human development. That is what I want to talk to you about. The role of infrastructure in human development. To those of us who intend to support this fundraising launching, I would hope seriously that I will be able to connect your purses to what I believe is the ultimate purpose of this CPT center, and connect it also to people in a way that you probably may not have done. I had the privilege of going around the school today, and I saw what your purses have done in different infrastructure projects and developmental initiatives. But I probably want to speak more to things that happened in our presence and most of what happened behind our backs whilst that development was undertaken, as a way of reinforcing the point about infrastructure and human development. At the time I was writing my notes, it was clear that the center did not exist, and my visit to the site confirms that it does not exist. And I believe that this model here is indicative that it is in embryonic stage. So that is where to start, and to remind us, as we all know, that it has to be built. That is something we must agree. It has to be built. The president in his speech has also said that some people have already started mobilizing resources towards the purpose. So let us know that whatever building it is that has to be built, in whatever way, an architect will be involved. I think we can agree that. So, your boss, as you give, even if the architect is an old boy and wants to do it at the lowest cost, which I hope will happen, there are some things that will be cost, at the very least, that you will have to bear. But let us assume that it was not an old boy. It means that we will be funding an architect. So I'm trying to connect us to people while we build. And after funding an architect, we will have to find a builder. These are small businesses who will be contracted to do the work. Once this is done, we will be funding skilled and unskilled labor. Whatever contribution we make, we will be funding skilled and unskilled labor. Young men and women who we may never meet, but they will be the ones that will provide human capacity at the construction site over the entire period of the construction. They will be the ones who will wake up every morning with pride in their hearts as they set out to work, telling their families, I am going to work. I am going to work. Very important set of words, but it will be ignited by our purses. What we give to this cause. Why are those words important? I am going to work. It is because they are much more dignifying as a choice for us to support. And our purses will enable us make that choice, to support that dignifying choice. Because the reverse side of that choice and of those words is that I am going to beg. And that is most undignified for any man. Any human being too, for that matter, male or female. So that is how far our purses will travel. But our purses will also go further. They will then put food on the tables of many families that we may never meet and we will probably never see. But from the dignity of work, families are fed. And this is what infrastructure does. As we all know, CBT is the acronym for computer-based testing. Computers and accessories will certainly be procured and installed. Again, that moves away from the realm of the architect, from the realm of the builder, from the realm of the skilled and unskilled laborers to the realm of vendors. And those people will supply the computers. They will also bring the accessories. They will bring young men and women again who will be involved in the installation. Another set of small businesses will be impacted by your purses, what you give. But that will not be the end of the reach of these purses. Your purses are going to reach further than you probably have imagined. And the ones you have given in the past have reached places perhaps that you did not contemplate that they got to. The impact continues to operation and maintenance of the center and the people who will be paid to do this on a long-term and on a sustainable basis to ensure that the center operates to its full design life. So I visited the school with our president and we saw, he showed me around phase 1. And all of what I am speaking to you about is there in reality. There was a math lab there where somebody was employed, equipment had been supplied. We visited the chemistry lab. I saw all of the chemistry appliances. I even joked to him that in my chemistry experience in secondary school, I never ever reached end point. And he was telling me what end point was. And I told him that it was mathematics that drove me to law. But mathematics was later to come and wait and ambush me in public service. Because I had to make budgets, I became Minister of Works who could not dodge mathematics and so on. So, what I'm saying is that infrastructure that we form continues beyond building to maintenance and operation. Therefore, when we bemoan the lack of maintenance, it is perhaps because we have not fully connected to the economy of maintenance. People say, oh, there is no maintenance culture. I say there is no such thing like that. It's not a cultural thing, it's an economic thing. If we build the economy, it will thrive. So, and I want to say how proud I am to have been associated with the creation of our country's first state government-initiated facility maintenance agency in Lagos State. It was a pleasure to have created that agency because maintenance then tried to create work. And you will see why shortly. I was also privileged to present the memorandum to the Federal Executive Council in my capacity as Minister of Works and Housing, which led to the adoption of a national maintenance policy for Nigeria. Pursuant to the adoption of that policy, President Buhari then signed what was known as Executive Order Number 11 in 2022 to give effect to this policy. And this is what he said in signing the order. Maintenance of assets is more than a culture. It is an economy from which many can prosper. End of quote. In the field of fiscal infrastructure, it has been proven that design and construction employs only about 30% of the people in the built industry. And it employs them on a short to medium term basis. Architect does design, short contract, his work is finished. Construction may go from short to medium term, but one day construction will end. What is left that never ends is maintenance and operation. So as you are hearing glasses click in this hall, trays are moving, you are being sacked, that is part of the maintenance and operation of this building. The architect who designed it is long gone. The construction company that built it is long gone. But the people who work in it are the real and enduring beneficiaries of the investment that brought this building together. And that is what your forces will be doing in CBT Phase 2. The people who will work there to operate it for the benefit of your children, your grandchildren, your cousins, your nieces who are in that school now. And so this is the central message of the topic I chose to speak about. How far your pulse will go if you invest in CBT Phase 2. You will be supporting people. But that is not all. That is not the final reach of your pulse. In this case, maybe this is the final reach of the pulse that built this facility. But in the school, it's not finished. The users of the centers themselves, the thousands of students who will continue the tradition of leadership and development and of nation building that Baptist Boys High School Abeokuta has a proud reputation on. So you are going to reach those students. You already have an indisputable legacy that produced many nation builders in public and private sector. But I'm sure you don't want that story to end. And so this investment will reach those people too. And whoever thought when my brother Governor Daniel was in Baptist Boys High School that he will enter politics and become governor and become senator. At best, maybe he just wanted to be an engineer and go and make some money. But he has impacted more people, both in his private life and in his public service. Who knows? Maybe the next Bola Ajibola is there. Who knows whether the next Awolowo is coming again from your school? And who knows whether the next Obasanjo is coming from there? Or the next Kehinde Shofola? So, it is almost an endless pause. if you choose to support this initiative. It will reach many more people. So don't focus on the brick and mortar alone. You will be reaching many more people with every modest contribution that you make to this journey. But I now say that leadership, nation building and development are another type of infrastructure. So we're moving very quickly, and I will try and wrap it up. From the infrastructure of the fiscal fund to the infrastructure of demand. Yes, there's infrastructure of demand, and I will come to it. But before I come to it, let me just say that when people emigrate from one place to the other, as we have seen, how many of us have connected this to infrastructure? When people migrate in search of better opportunities, I'm not sure that they do so because the food is better there than it is here. As I told an audience a few days ago, I met an American from Oklahoma. And this is perhaps the best place to repeat that story. So I met an American from Oklahoma. We met in Mexico, in Cancun. And when he realized that I was Nigerian, the only thing he wanted to discuss with me was how he could order Lafu Bakery and he will do online. So I asked him, when did you come across that? He said, I was in Abeokuta and I ate the food and I fell in love with it, but I can't order it online. And I said, but I can't help you. So, but why did I digress? So it's not because our food is clearly better, but people leave. And when they leave, perhaps at the heart of those choices are access to certain types of services. Healthcare, education, business, transport, productivity, perhaps electricity. So when we talk of underdevelopment versus development, or we talk of multidimensional poverty, we are indirectly pointing fingers at the quality and the quantity of infrastructure. And when one country chooses to overrun another, it is simply exerting the will of superior firepower based on military infrastructure. It is a choice between how surplus or scarce resources are invested. You may have more and do nothing, and those who have less can invest it very, very significantly. In the way that you will make that choice today, whether how little or how much you want to invest, not just in brick and mortar, but in people's lives. All of those people that I have spoken about. So, beyond the quality of life that well thought out and well delivered infrastructure provides, it has shown since the Marshall Plan that not only does infrastructure improve the quality of life, without any doubt, that debate has ended, if it ever existed. It is one of the most legitimate ways to distribute wealth in a society. If you invest in infrastructure, you are legitimately distributing wealth to all of those people that we have talked about. So when some of our political actors downplay the importance of infrastructure, and I have heard one of them say words to this effect, you cannot use infrastructure to drive the economy, I cringe at that person's ignorance. Very ignorant. I have seen firsthand how the approval of a contract to build a piece of civil engineering infrastructure triggers work, inquiries, far away from where the contract was issued. I believe that many of you will be familiar with the Apapa Oshodi Expressway. The approval was issued to reconstruct it in Abuja. But you know where the laterite that they used for the base was coming from? Were coming from here. Several thousands of tons of laterite were being ferried from the quarries here to build that road in Lagos. What's Ogun's connection with the road in Lagos? But this is where the quarries are. So when you ignite infrastructure, you will be connecting people you will never ever know about. And it is important to so how many of our sophisticated people even know what happens in quarries? I ask people, do you know the economy of quarries? Do you know the kind of work and the kind of money that quarries generate and the kind of jobs that they generate? Because that is the base place to source raw material for physical infrastructure. Do we know how the product from the quarries then supports the haulage industry? Because when you finish blasting and mining and excavating, you have to move it. So all of the people who have invested in haulage trucks, this is where they shake hands with infrastructure. This is where they too proudly say, I am going to work. And this is where the monies that pay school fees for their children comes from. But the journey doesn't end there. They have to employ drivers. The owner is not necessarily always the driver. That's another level of employment. And every day that we run those haulage businesses and trucks, you are consuming what? Fuel and lubricants. That's another supply industry in our economy. Small businesses that drive all the economies of great nations. Those are the Sons and Co. And there are millions across our country. That's where the game is won and lost of national prosperity and wealth distribution. Of course, this then leads when you move the quarry materials, you move them to batching plants, and you move them to construction sites. Again, skilled and unskilled labor. Another part of the value chain. And of course, if you look very closely, you will see somewhere corner there when one madam is providing nutrition, food for the workers. Every construction site has them. I visited them, so I know what to look for. And I know who to interact with. If you don't see food is ready in the corner, something is wrong. But beyond that, that food is ready is also connecting with the market. The fish vendor, the meat seller, the pepper seller knows that every day somebody is demanding X baskets of fish, X amount of rice, and it becomes a regular supply chain. And lives will be planned around it, maybe for a year, maybe for 6 months, maybe for 2 years, depending on how the construction goes. So it is an endless connection of opportunities to spend money on infrastructure. Endless. Whether it is one small CBT, or it is a bridge, or it is a housing project. What I then say is that all the participants in this value chain are people with families who benefit from our commonwealth if we choose and if we deliver infrastructure correctly and if we maintain them. So just one quick example, Executive Order which I referred to, led us to issue 25 contracts to maintain 25 federal secretariats that then existed in Nigeria. So immediately, we have 25 new contractors who got the job award. They didn't have work before. But for each contractor to now fulfill his contract, each one of them employed at least 40 people who were doing something or nothing at all before them. And each contractor was then buying brooms, brush, paint, polish, employing security guard, employing gate man, and the value chain just developed from maintenance and operation. So if you ask in this building today, how many people come here every morning, you'll be amazed. There is a lot really to unpack about the existential necessity for physical infrastructure. There's a lot. A luncheon of this nature, constrained by time, which has also run out, does no justice to the full scope of the possibilities. But I do hope that I have at least shown a little light on the subject to excite curiosity and possibly the interest of some of us to dig deeper if we can. I will now move, as I promised, back to the infrastructure of the mind. So in my tenure as a public servant, some things agitated me, and some of those things were people driving against traffic, people behaving in a way that was most unacceptable, throwing refuse out of your cars, defecating and urinating in public, riding a motorcycle against traffic, putting an infant who had no choice. If you want to go and play Russian roulette with your whole life, at least you are an adult. What is it about the infant who has no choice? And it was clear that something needed to be done. We undertook a campaign called the Spirit of Lagos in order to change minds, to challenge people to rethink these things. So as we built hard infrastructure of the minds of the people who will use the hard infrastructure, in other words, to teach them not only how to use them, but also how to own and protect them. Mind you, this was not a problem that was unique to these parts of the world. If you have read Lee Kuan Yew's book, From Third World to First World, some of the first reforms of building Singapore and converting farmers to come and live in city-like environments, they came with their cows and their chickens and their pigs and wanted to live in flats, and the man said, no, you can't do that, you must leave those back on the farm. But today, that will not happen there, because generation after generation, the infrastructure of the mind has been built. And the best place to build the infrastructure of the mind is in the schools. Is in the schools. And you know why? As I say to people, the teachers are like gods. If you remember our children growing up, and you say, I don't do this like this, you say, Daddy, Mom, my teacher said. You're familiar with those words? My teacher said. That is the place to build the infrastructure of the mind. So I shared what we did. We named and shamed those who were non-compliant. We also made them realize that the assets they were damaging were built with their taxes, and that it was not commonsensical to be destroying your own money. And so people began to take ownership, because you will see them back in Lagos, taxpayers' money in action, this and that. So they will know it's not Fashola's money that they were spoiling. It was our commonwealth that they were damaging. I've given other examples, and I won't dwell too much on them. But just to say that the type of infrastructure of the mind that needs to be built is limitless. We started with campaigns and educations. There are many examples that can be adopted, but it is important to remember that it is a necessary investment to make. And I think that there is no better place to talk about infrastructure of the mind than to an assembly of old boys of Baptist Boys High School, Abeokuta, from the founders to the modern day managers of the school. Because the people you have produced for Nigeria shows that they took the infrastructure of the mind when they were leaving your school. So therefore, as we gather to set the stage for delivering this STEM infrastructure, which is physical infrastructure, we must not forget to ask ourselves the question: what kind of people will use it? Can I repeat that? What kind of people will use the CBT? What kind of mindset will they have? And what kind of people will they turn out to be? That is the infrastructure of the mind which we must not forget to build. Because as you say in any event in Baptist Boys High School, it is not just education, it is education plus. I think you said it. I mean, it's not you. So that is the infrastructure of the mind, the education plus. That plus is the quality of the mind of the best scientists, the best educationists, the best engineers that you produce. So to one and all, I urge you again to please support this course zestfully and generously. And of course, I thank you for your attention.
Applaud and thank His Excellency, Commander of Lagos State, the Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bbhs Raji Fashola SAN. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Delivering data precision with calm authority and thoughtful clarity that consistently elevates early discussion or conversation it gets into. Once again, let's appreciate His Excellency SAN, CEO. While His Excellency was talking to us, we have joining us the Director General, Law School. Permit me to welcome Dr. Bbhs Odu-Shoten. She is also here with the husband, Reverend Dr. Odu-Shoten. Reverend Dr. Odu-Shoten, welcome. Let me quickly recognize the presence of Elder Shola Adeyemi. I didn't see thank you very much, sir. Your Excellencies, when His Excellency was talking about infrastructure, physical infrastructure, and infrastructure of the mind. And I was just thinking, I thought he was going to talk about stomach infrastructure. Because I know that one of your colleagues too, one of the things he introduced to Nigerian politics is stomach infrastructure. But I think at the end of your speech, you are linking it, the physical, the mind, and then you pointed out at every construction site there's a woman providing stomach infrastructure. So any construction site you go and there's nobody providing stomach infrastructure, please move on. At this point, sir, let me invite Ambassador Idris Olawale Mayegun to come and respond to the address of His Excellency. Please join me for the Ambassador Idris Olawale Mayegun.
Wow. I'm about to fall into big shoes. I hope I will not look like an Abidek baby or child is wearing oversized dress. Let me start by recognizing my senior, Otumba William Daniel, former governor of the state, and distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But I'm also proud and never disappointed by my own governor, Obiko Pataki. His Excellency, I don't even want to say minister, because he has done enough for that great state of Lagos. And he has eloquently told us, by being modest, Governor Fashola, I'm honored to have you, not just as one of your citizens, but because of what you stand for. And that is hard work, and you are above board. And I really want to thank you for your services to the state of Lagos and to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much. I also want to recognize the presence of the director of the law school and Reverend Olusoto. We're honored to have you in our midst. I can begin to connect the dots of your presence here. So I also want to thank our national president, or global president as we call him, Justice Boyga Mufowora, and his able executive. Starting from John the Believer. I call him John the Baptist, Oloyede, and all the other members. Please forgive me if I don't mention any. But I also want to recognize the presence of the former president, Professor Emeritus, Professor Kari Oshiku, as well as my own friend and colleague, Elder Shola Adeyemi, member of the DOT, and distinguished invitees, all distinguished old boys. Please forgive me. So I'll just say, my Lord spiritual and my Lord temporal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm humbled to stand in front of you to give a response to Governor Fashola, but I'm not going to do that. I would rather just briefly reflect on one of the things he said, and which is on infrastructure and the motivation for us to embark on this step. Governor, we can produce, we can build factories. You've just described it. Our governors, senators, we can build factories. We can build roads. We can provide those infrastructures. But believe me, illiterates will not maintain those infrastructure. Unhealthy people will not maintain those infrastructure. Governor Fashola alluded to that, though he did not expatiate. So when we get in here and when we look at Bbhs, it's not about stomach infrastructure, it's about those who will maintain the infrastructure. Just a quick story, and I'm not going to stay long. In my other life as a diplomat, but not just as a diplomat cleaning glasses. My own being a diplomat is both in the conference room, but also on the field. And I had the privilege of confronting in one of my portfolios at the international organizations. And I think I had the opportunity of sharing this with Professor Yoshifu once, if you can remember. We were confronted with what we call, I was to develop what we call dividend, youth dividend project. It was a time we were confronted with, and this is all over Africa, with youth unemployment at a period when there is continental economic growth. How can you have economic growth and then you have unemployment? I mean, those of you who are economists, I'm not one, will begin to ask. So we wanted to know why. And we did a quick random survey of universities in Africa, collected their graduation lists to see why are people graduating into unemployment. And the outcome was indicated in a situation, not just over Nigeria, but I'm talking about the entire continent, in a situation where we have 75% of graduates in liberal arts and social sciences, and you have about 5 to 7% in engineering, less than 10% in medical and basic sciences. I think it's obvious that people will graduate into unemployment because there is a disconnect between the demands of the labor market, that is the demands of the economy, and what is being produced in our universities. And the problem goes deeper than even at that store. It comes down to high school, even in elementary school. Bearing that in mind, I had several conversations with Dr. Rubel, who happens to be a medical doctor, and we started brainstorming on what to be done. And he said, well, Ambassador, if you've been writing projects before, why don't you see what you can come up with? We can look for the resources to start, and he was sure others will come on board. This is where the journey started. How do we make sure that the next generation of Bbhs will not be graduating into unemployment, will be creating jobs for themselves? You recall that Deacon Akisaya, the principal, Deacon Otola, who later became principal, focused on science. You recall the numerous old boys who read engineering like Otoba Daniel. We were together in the hostel, and we knew it was going to go to greater heights. Not surprising. And so it's about renewal. But the project we have designed is, again, listening carefully to Governor Fashola, who has put everything as infrastructure. We have focused on not just those physical infrastructure you are looking at, but on the teachers and the students. Because we believe that innovative teaching methods will help those students. And we have clearly defined goals. And I really want to thank another old boy who, I'm not so sure whether he's here, is Professor Fatadi, who has anchored the program. So we can talk of the new mathematics laboratory, biology laboratory. We're going to build a new center for the CBT. At the center of those are people, as mentioned by Governor Fashola, and the people at the center are the teachers, whom we had a long conversation with before the project started. Even the students were consulted, and the result is what we're doing. Thanks to Professor Fatali and his colleagues from traditional Federal University of Education, and I believe that's where Professor Ishikutu is quite aware of that. They've been consistently engaged in giving capacity building. Should I stop? So, well, I'm just told, I'm sure you know, the commissioner will be properly introduced by our director of, master of ceremony. But I'm just told that the commissioner of education has joined us for the state, and it's great to have him among our midst. So, let me run it. This term at Bbhs is to complement, first and foremost, let me be clear, is to complement the efforts of the state government in their curriculum, but it's three-dimensional, like I said. It focuses on the students, on the teachers, and on those basic infrastructure that we've provided, or that we're providing. And according to Governor Fashola, actually the three together is the infrastructure that we should be looking at. So I'm honored and happy that we have a project document, we have capacity building being given to the teachers, and we can only hope that they will continue to do their best, and the signs are good. The students, thanks to you both, the alumni, who have also started providing mentorship to both the teachers and the students so that they can gain the required experience. We hope that at the end of 5 years, when we will be reviewing, we will have achieved considerably in some of the indicators we've laid down. Let me round up by saying that our aim and our vision is clear. Let no child be left behind. On account of the agenda, on account of their social economy status, whether they are poor or not, we will support all the students, and we will keep encouraging their love of science and technology. And also, we will keep ensuring that the teachers are given capacitated to be able to deliver on those promises. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I invite you, or rather let me just say that in summary, we hope that connecting the school with higher education and industry, we wish to provide clear and good learning environment, which we're trying to, and of course, to inspire, keep the interest of these kids in science education. Thereafter, they can go on to do whatever they want to do and become what they want to become as part of being good citizens of Baptist Boys High School. We will continue to make Bbhs the best and the leader in science and tech, in robotics and engineering, and will remain second to none. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Can we please give our very wonderful ambassador another round of applause? And like our fathers said, that Baptist Boys High School, Bbhs, is not just about education, but education plus. And that is why we are second to none. Nulli secondus? Nulli secondus? Thank you so much. And like Daddy said, aside physical history and infrastructure of the mind is also key. And please permit me to specially appreciate my very wonderful father. A very wonderful father. I always call him father because he's indeed a father and a father to me. God used him to employ me into the Ogun State Civil Service. And that's another infrastructure of the mind, aside the infrastructure of the stomach. Thank you so much, sir. This is one of your impacts, sir, and that is deeply appreciated. And while that was going on, we have joined us in attendance here today. Another very wonderful man. You can see him giving a very warm smile. That is his usual habit. And that is the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in person of Professor Abayomi Ariba. We're glad to have you on board here, sir. In his company, we have our very dearly esteemed Madam, the able Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, in person of Mrs. Oloko. Glad to have you on board here. Thank you so much for being part of this great program. And all other members of staff that actually joined the team. We want to say a very big thanks. Without wasting our time, distinguished old boys would like to once again appreciate our fathers for this very great initiative of the CBT. I am a living witness to what is happening because presently, apart from being a distinguished old boy of our alma mater, I am also a teacher at Baptist Boys High School. So that is also the plus. So I can speak with volume about the impact that this is actually making significantly on our education standard in our school. So once again, on behalf of the school populace, we say thank you, sirs. Without wasting the time, we'd like to welcome to the podium, speaking for Professor Lambo Foundation. Please join my very wonderful, my very handsome daddy in the house here today, Captain Lambo. Glad to have you on board here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say that it is a great honor to be before such a distinguished audience. But at the same time, too, it's really quite intimidating. So I'm going to make my speech very, very brief. His Excellency, Babatunde Fashola, His Excellency, and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the distinguished old boys of the Baptist Boys High School in Abeokuta. On behalf of the Lambo Foundation, my twin brother, who unfortunately is not here today, and I thank you all for this very gracious opportunity to reaffirm the Foundation's commitment to financially support Baptist Boys High School at Abeokuta. the alma mater of our late father, Professor Thomas Adeoye Lambo. I recently visited the school in September of last year, and despite the visit being unannounced, I was deeply moved by the warmth and the generosity with which I was received by Principal Adega and his staff. That reception spoke not only to courtesy, but to the enduring values and character of the institution itself. Baptist Boys High School was a central influence in Professor Lambo's life, providing him with a foundation of discipline, character, and public responsibility that shaped his professional career and guided his enduring commitment to social development. Abeokuta and Ogun State occupy a distinguished place in Nigeria's educational history. For generations, schools in this region have produced men and women whose education was inseparable from character, responsibility, and public service. Baptist Boys High School stands firmly within that tradition. This renewed commitment is the Lambo Foundation's modest way of giving back, of supporting the continued growth of an institution that helps shape not only one man's life, but the lives of many who have gone on to serve this wonderful nation. No one expresses this commitment more clearly than our father himself. In his will, he wrote, and I quote, "I have worked relentlessly and hard for the depressed, underprivileged, disadvantaged, poor children and young adults. I hope this assistance will continue to be given by the Lambo Foundation, the main purpose for which it was set up. Where better to begin fulfilling that legacy than at Baptist Boys High School, Abeokuta. During my visit to the school, I assured Principal Adega that in due course, the Foundation would do its best to act in a manner consistent with its charitable purpose and within the values as articulated by its founder, Professor Lambo, in his will. My brother and I thank you all very sincerely for your patience and attention, and we wish you a very gracious evening. God bless you all. And I must add, I apologize if I made any mistakes in addressing such distinguished gentlemen, but I am not used to talking in this manner. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Again, let's appreciate Captain Lambo, who has spoken on behalf of the Lambo Foundation. Thank you again. Your Excellencies, at this point, let me yield the ground to this scholar administrator, whose commitment to education and excellence continues to shape minds. Please join me as I welcome the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in Ogun State, Professor Abayomi Aribabu, FSTAN, FNAN. The Honorable Commissioner, sir. Your Excellency, former Governor of the State and Senator representing the East, most distinguished Senator Otuba. Your Excellency, the former Governor of Lagos State and the former Minister of Works, Mr. Bbhs, the President of Baptist Boys High School All Students Association, my dear brother, Honorable Justice Oluboyega Mufora, permit me to adopt the already established protocols. This evening is a pleasure for me to be here. And do I say it's a pleasure? Because I had to rush down. I left Abeokuta for Tagama and rushed back again to Abeokuta. Ordinarily, we should be in the body now. But because of the importance I attach to this program and to this institution, I said I should come back to make sure I'm part of this. That explains why I was late, because we're actually in the governor's convoy. Please accept my apologies for being late for the program. But sincerely, it is always a pleasure for me to attend Baptist Boys High School All Students Association programs, because it's one of the few All Students Associations that has remained very consistent, very focused, very supportive. The model, is becoming a model that other All Students Associations can actually adopt. And the way people, the All Students, support their school is very infectious. And I remember when I came on board as the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, realizing the fact that all students play a major role in the development of their alma mater, I decided to form a platform, which I call the Alma Mater Platform. And that platform has continued to galvanize support for schools in the state. I must say that Bbhs is one of those All Students Associations that have actually continued to show leadership through what they do in their school and the posts, which usually encourage others to do the same. Like the event of today, when you post it, you see others trying to say, we must do the same, we must do something. And even younger schools, and when we say younger schools, schools that are not up to 100 years yet, I think that Bbhs is always very proud to be in that league of the schools that we call the schools. It's one of our flagship schools in Ogun State. And when we started, there were 42 flagship schools. Today we have 86 flagship schools, 41 junior flagship schools, 41 senior flagship schools, and 4 combined flagship schools. And because of that, we have paid more attention to Bbhs, just like we have done with all other flagship schools in terms of intervention, and that's why Bbhs was one of the schools that was singled out for the PSI, PMI intervention. That is the Progressive Science Initiative, Progressive Mathematics Initiative, which we had about 2 years ago, and they are still on that program. Also, the school is one of the schools that we supplied smart classroom equipment to power the teaching of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The school is also in the league of the schools that we pencil down for laboratory intervention. But unfortunately, the president is looking at me. Unfortunately, something went wrong. I think maybe it was the principal that gave a wrong information to the ministry, and then Baptist High School was dropped. But we have said definitely we will make up for that because we are in discussion with the president. I'm particularly happy that the school is working on having a STEM laboratory. And if we look at what is happening in the world now, particularly in this era of artificial intelligence. And by the way, yesterday we launched the first of its kind artificial intelligence powered digital platform for teaching and learning in the States. And I'm very sure that Baptist High School, with this type of intervention of having a STEM laboratory, will actually be in the league of those that will be in the forefront. I'm happy that you have a number of highly pleased individuals in the person of His Excellency the Governor of the State, Mr. Senator. We have Honorable Justice, we have Professor Kyle who I can see, and Adeyemi, and so on like that. At the time, you would think it's only Baptist High School, and they say Baptist High School and the others.
Yes, so moving secondos.
However, when we put the record straight, we know Baptist High School will come after. Anyway, this is not the forum for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, the passion I see with the old boys of Baptist High School is that type of passion that gives us sort of encouragement even in government. Because when you have government making interventions in schools, and then the old students are also supporting, then it allows us to actually achieve the vision we have for such schools. And I continue to say it everywhere I go, that the only group that will support a school without looking for anything in return are the old students. I say this because I know when politicians do things in schools, if you check, it's because election is around the corner. And when corporate bodies do that, they do it because of promotion, to sell products and so on, But most students will do it, even parents, they do. Because their students are in the school. When the students leave the school, they won't come back there again. But those students will constantly continue to support their school. So, and that's why I want to appreciate all of you for the support you are giving to your school. I pray that God Almighty will continue to provide for you to be able to continue to support the school, and also to provide for you to provide for your family. So I thank you for constantly remembering your school, constantly supporting your school, constantly supporting the efforts of government in making sure that the agenda we have for education, which we call the State Education Revitalization Agenda, which is actually doing a lot in repositioning education in the state. Despite the challenges, we are happy that the old students are actually helping us to actualize that agenda. Ogun State continue to score first. This has been attested to even at the national level. We started the digital platform for education revitalization, through which we launched what we call the learner education number system, and the federal government saw that it was fantastic. About 2 weeks ago, federal government actually adopted what we have introduced 5 years ago, and we now have what we call the examination learner identification number. Also, we continue to lead in the area of TVET, and because of that, we are also giving recognition. We are the only state in Nigeria, as we speak, that has a skills certification awarding body.
the state is the only state. And at the same time, also, we have totally repositioned all our 8 technical colleges, and we are bringing equipment into those areas. And because of what we have done in that area, so that the youth will be deeply engaged, the federal government is also doing something which is similar to what we also started some time ago. And that's why I say I appreciate the old students, because as you are supporting what the government is doing, is making these efforts, these initiatives to actually blossom. And that's why we are being recognized. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here. I thank you for the opportunity given me to address you, and also I want to appreciate the support you continue to give to your school, and assure you that government will continue to support not only Bbhs but all our schools in the state. Thank you very much.
Let's move on to the one more time for the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Mr. Professor Amoyoni Arigabu. Prof, we are a prayerful nation and a prayerful school. So any spirit that will make you to strike, or somebody to strike anything that belongs to Bbhs of your plan. Holy Ghost, fire! Anybody. But we trust the Honorable Commissioner. He's one that is so committed. You know, professors don't come so cheap. Just as, you know, senior advocates of Nigeria don't come so cheap. When senior advocates of Nigeria, SAN, Baptiste Fashola was speaking with us, and it was going on and on. I remember I said, okay, this was just a keynote address. So what if we had invited him for an inaugural lecture? What are we then going to have? And I remember an inaugural lecture that held recently in the Ogun State University. And there was somebody in the physics department, and it was a field hall. He was talking about occidental and centripetal and all of that. The whole hall was filled up. And everybody, the BC, EBC, all the professors, different faculties were represented, and we were in the audience because we followed the younger sister to attend the inaugural lecture. And so this man went on and on. At the point we were not understanding what he was saying. And by the time he finished after 3 hours, there was only one person sitting on table 1. The BC had taken excuse, the EBC had taken excuse, almost everybody had gone. Only one person sitting and looking at the professor who delivered the inaugural lecture, just like Adeyemi was looking at me. And so when he finished, thank you very much for listening. Only the young man clapped. And so he stretched his hand to shake the young man and said, thank you for sitting through the lecture. And the man said, Prof, I don't get choice. So now maybe the electrician, I'm waiting to remove the microphone. Thank you, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite a distinguished alumnus of this school, a renowned mechanical engineer, successful entrepreneur, 2-time governor, a current senator, one whose visionary leadership and commitment to development has not only been felt in Ogun State and continues to be felt in Ogun State, but in Baptist Boys High School. His commitment to development continues to inspire generations. And his key achievements while in office and up to this moment has earned him the recognition men called the father of modern Ogun State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Senator Otumba Benga Daniel as he steps forward for the launching of the STEM 2 laboratory.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Governor Emeritus of your state. My national president, Lord Justice Brega Fowora, our Honorable Commissioner, and therefore Solari Babu, our Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, permit me to also recognize probably the first woman to sit as the head of the Nigerian Law School, Mrs. Sudushate. I believe her able consort, because that name is also Sudushate. You are most welcome. My colleagues, my seniors, and all the great alumni of this great school, the Baptist Mosaic School at Delta, with that motto, nulli secundus.
Second to none.
Is my second to none. Let me just once again congratulate you once again for living up to your billing. Our global common president, Professor Oyedepo, you were backing me, so I didn't look. I pay my respect. My job is very simple, to encourage each and every one of us to make contributions for this STEM 2, which is the extension of the existing STEM as part of the infrastructural facility required in our school. I am reliably informed that we've done quite well, and that many of the class sets have been making contributions, and of course, all I have to therefore do is first and foremost to encourage you. I'm informed that each class set is supposed to give us 2 billion. Either by way of contribution or by nominating people who can give $1 million each. And I'm told that a substantial amount of money is already in. So let me congratulate all the people who have put this together. When His Excellency, the former governor of Lagos, was speaking, I sat with him and I made 1 or 2 requests. And I said, look, if we are looking for 100 and something million, your presence here alone should definitely guarantee that. He then reminded me that I mustn't forget that he is a pensioner. And I started laughing. I'm laughing because some of us are aware of the remunerations of pensioners who have been governors and deputy governors in Lagos. And we know that is by law. So whether you want to correct it or not, it's by law. But if that is something that should worry you, I think if you look at history, Governor Fashola is probably one honorable minister who combined 3 most important portfolios. In today's environment, power on its own is a major portfolio. Housing, of course, is a major portfolio. And of course, works. And today we have 3 different ministers occupying those 3 positions. And Dr. Fashola alone, 3 in 1. In soccer, we say, I love it in football. If you miss the ball, don't miss the. So, Your Excellency, I know that you, as a public servant in both, you may not want to make any public announcement. But I'm assured that you are going to support directly or indirectly this laudable project. I also know that you may not have been particularly lucky to attend a school like this. And of course, my honorable commissioner also might not have been particularly lucky.
What did you just hate us?
Now he's educating me and said that his school was established earlier than our own. There used to be something we used to say in those days, the age of Methuselah.
Nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon.
So, Honorable Commissioner, I however must commend you because you made a statement while we sat together. You said, I should rest assured, this is your school, and you will do what you have to do. And I think that I must really appreciate that. Now, global president, national president, you know how to do this thing. You need to come and support me at this stage so that you will whisper a few things to me. President Ishiku, please come to this side. Because I need support. Of course, you know that I'm also a pensioner, so. Can you hear Mr. Mayegun coughing? And look at my Oga, Daddy, also coughing.
Your class set has not.
When your senior is speaking, you know what to do. First, you have to stand up, raise up your hands, close your eyes. Okay, open your eyes. Thank you very much. Professor Orishiku has covered his class, 2,250,000 naira. I don't think we should get it now. 2,250,000. Come and tell us with your so that. Because once you say it's in my presence, there is no going back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Standing on the system protocol. 7984 class set minutes. Minimum 2 minutes.
Minimum.
Please give him a round of applause. 2 million and 10. USA Canada, that will be in dollars. Small dollar will be a lot of money. USA Canada, please step forward.
Just like that.
8186. Obey instruction, just obey instruction.
Good evening, my vice president, Mr. Adekule, please, 8166. How much should I get, sir? 2 million.
Thank you very much. Please give a round. You are not clapping. You are not clapping.
Standing on all and listening to this, on behalf of my 78 site, we will minimum of 2 million naira.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Vice President, your platform. Yes.
With this kind of original beats, no, there's a price. There's a price for this beat.
$2,250,000.
Let's give him a loud round of applause.
How are you? Oh, Shaki Bakari, I saw you right behind you. Shaki Bakari.
Mr. Shakiru please step forward. Mr. Shakiru Bakari. Thank you very much for stepping forward. Alaji Shakiru Bakari. Civil servant. They don't talk about them. People know they are the richest.
On behalf of the kids, 2 million naira.
A round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
1991. How is it time? Kazim, both of you come. Kazim, come.
Mr. Taro and Mr. Kasim, please obey senior's instruction.
On behalf of the 1985-91 dynamic set, with 2 million tickets.
Please support with a round of applause. 2,250,000.
Shanusi Olakoye again. On behalf of 1993 set, 2 million plus.
2 million plus. Kindly give a loud round of applause. Mr. Family, please step forward. When the president is also my lord, you know what it means. You better not fall into temptation.
97. Oh, Charles, 98. Charles, 98.
Thank you very much. On behalf of my classmates and being a civil servant, I wouldn't want to go with my seniors. So I'd like to come a little bit lower. So on behalf of my class sets, Bbhs 95 sets, we pay 1 million. Thank you.
Please support with a round of applause.
On behalf of 97 states, we will be donating 2 million.
Thank you very much. Please step forward.
On behalf of 1998 cents, we'll be giving 2 million. Thank you.
Please support with a round of applause.
Like 1996 cents, the Titans, we are pledging 3,250,000 naira.
No, that requires a better round of applause.
On behalf of the 1999 set, we are pledging the sum of 2,250,000.
Thank you very much. Round of applause.
On behalf of 7377 cents, we are paying 2,250,000.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
78.
Alicia, please come forward, please. Broadcaster Emeritus. Where is Mr. Alicia?
Yeah, another minute here. Isaac.
Apart from that, I would like to hear your sonorous voice, making sonorous donation. Results.
Thank you very much. On behalf of 1986, we pledge 3,250,000. 3,250,000.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we have done well. Is there still anything left? What has my own class done? Dodo. Okay, on behalf of my own class, I will do 2.25 million. Who?
You mean 2-0? You mean 2-0, sir? 20.25. 2,050,000. I think I had 20 million.
Lagos branch. After Mr. Alicia, the Lagos branch, that will be it.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. The 1978 class has put in 750,000 naira already. We fortunately put in $500,000 naira and has only put in 250,000 naira. But I just observed my classmates and they said do more. I cannot measure an amount now, but I assure you that millions will go in more. Thank you so much, sir.
Last but not the least, and unfortunately for him, the governor emeritus of Lagos is sitting looking at him. And you know, we normally say a go for show. We hope you will not disappoint. Don't look at what you have had.
to have people like OGG as our member. Therefore, I will give the microphone to His Excellency to promise on behalf of the Lagos branch. With due respect, sir. With due respect, sir. With due respect, sir.
I thought I was the only politician in this place. 85 cents is complaining that they are not being called. 85 cents, please come on time. And luckily you are wearing green on green.
Thank you, sir. Let me commit myself too much. On behalf of 8%, I know we do more than that. Let me say we pledge 2 million, but I'm very sure we do more than that, sir.
I just want to thank everybody. I know times are very difficult, but you have really tried. But if there is any other person who voluntarily wants to do everything however small, the floor is open for just 2 minutes. Is there anybody who wants to support in any way? Council, you are looking at me with one corner of the eye. And you are council.
She's admiring the millisecond.
She's what?
She's admiring Bbhs OBA.
Once upon a time, you know, we opened the school for females to come and do A-levels. I don't know whether, you know, whatever the case may be. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you.
At this time, His Excellency, the former governor of Lagos, has asked to leave. So we thank him. Do you want to? Okay. We want to do. Tony, come and do vote of thanks. While we still wait to continue the full detail, there is plenty of doing. So whenever the person one way to.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a very interesting afternoon. My job is the students today. It's just to say thank you. Like one of our former eminent jurists in Nigeria once said, a good speech is like a lady's skirt. Did you hear that? A good speech is like a lady's skirt. It has to be short enough to attract attention, but long enough to cover the subject matter. So we'll make it very short and brief. So let me just start from our special guest, His Excellency Bbhs We thank you for that wonderful speech. It was practical, straight to the point, and the message was very clear. And I think we all got the message. Like I will say, there are just two schools in Nigeria, Bbhs and others. If you did not attend Bbhs, you did not go to school. But for that one speech, we can as well ask the President to grant you a honorary membership. That is attending Bbhs to the back door. We thank you very much. We appreciate your time coming down all the way from Lagos. We know you are very busy. We thank you for the speech. Thank you for the time you spent seeing what's going on in the school. We are very grateful. Your Excellency, OGG, former governor of the state, we thank you for honoring this occasion as well. And wonderful fundraising. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, the Honorable Commissioner for Education, we are very glad to have you here, sir. You must play for. If you're interested in becoming a role for your Bbhs. So in addition to that, sir, I'd just like to say thank you to all my seniors, all my colleagues, all my juniors that are here today, the organizing committee of this inaugural presidential dinner, And of course, our able national president who has put this together. Thank you very much. I hope that this is going to be an annual event, and of course, we will continue to move our alma mater, the Bbhs, forward. So as you travel to your various destinations, we wish you a safe trip back. Your Excellency, we believe that this is the beginning of a long and enduring relationship with Bbhs. So we'd love to have you again. And of course, we appreciate you very much. So thank you very much, everybody. Newly seconded, our Bbhs. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to have a group photograph. Please, we want to only ask the past president, the past general president to please join this wonderful dignitaries, please. While I was sitting there the other time, my wonderful senior was asking me a question there, and he said, Adewale, I said, sir, I'm talking about our bros. Show me. He was asking me, he said, Adewale, I said, sir, why is it that you look so much like His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola? He said there are so many similarities between you and His Excellency. I said, wow, you have actually observed very well. He said His Excellency is left-handed and you are also left-handed. I said yes. He said His Excellency is dark in complexion and you are also dark in complexion. I said yes. He said you smile exactly the way His Excellency smiles. I said yes. And I now want to say, as a well-cultured African son, can we please be on our feet as we honor him once again? He has done wonderfully well. Thank you so much, sir. Your Excellency, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
How is that?
Please don't forget that the tournament continues. There are lots to drink, there are lots to eat. The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Aritabu, my professor, Professor Aritabu, sir, Professor, sir, my professor, as the Director of Events, I want to voluntarily sponsor your free admission form to Baptist Boys and Susan. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, distinguished boys of the prestigious Baptist Boys High School. Picking Dr. G.A.K. Omoyumi. Thank you, sir, for all you have done to impart us. We appreciate you so greatly, sir. to drink and still to eat.